Welcome to A Moment of Zen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Zen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, cryptocurrency, fintech, cannabis, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Zen Sams.
Hello, my beautiful tri-state area. Welcome to our 162nd episode. It's always such a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for listening and interacting with me on social media. It truly makes it all worthwhile. Please make sure to follow me at Zen Sams. That's Zen with an X, not a Z. Also, remember that all episodes of A Moment of Zen are now streaming 24/7 on your home TV and Kathy Ireland worldwide. You can always find us directly on our YouTube channel. We upload every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Up next in our Trailblazer segment, brought to you by Your Home TV and our friends over at Kathy Ireland Worldwide, we're featuring the incredible Allison Ellsworth, co-founder and chief brand officer of Poppi. I know you've heard of them. Poppi is a delicious, better-for-you soda made with clean ingredients. She struggled with a variety of health issues, so she created Poppi after discovering the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. She joins me today to chat about the inspiration behind Poppi, the importance of choosing healthier alternatives, and how to stand out in a crowded market. In our Expert on the Microphone series brought to you by CO2 Lift in our Going Deep segment, we are featuring Dr. Shino Bay Aguilera, founder of ShinoBayDerm.com and ShinoBayTraining.com. He is a highly acclaimed cosmetic dermatologist and surgeon and a laser expert with over 20 years of experience. Today, he joins me to chat skincare trends, combination treatments, and why pre-treating the skin prior to a procedure matters. We're also going to get his take on carboxtherapy for skin rejuvenation. In the Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, today we're featuring co-founder of Once Upon a Coconut, John Chiarando. He joins me to chat about his beverage company, Once Upon a Coconut's rise to fame, how they're revolutionizing coconut water and the beverage industry, but more importantly, how they're leveraging their position and power to give back. In the Discover Your Potential Express segment, contributor Anna DeVere pays tribute to National Dog Mom Day. Why we celebrate the kids who give us a mental break every day. Stay tuned for the incredible Allison Ellsworth, co-founder and chief brand officer of Poppi. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Join news reporter Gina Tomlinson and real estate expert Ralph Nudie as Gina gets nudie to show you the hottest places to eat, stay, and play in the world's best beach towns. Tune in to Nudie on the Beach, streaming on Your Home TV at nudieonthebeach.tv. That's NUDI on the beach.tv.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Trailblazer segment, brought to you by Your Home TV and our friends over at Kathy Ireland Worldwide. Today, we're featuring the incredible Allison Ellsworth, co-founder and chief brand officer of Poppi. Now, I know you've heard of them. Poppi is a delicious, better-for-you soda made with clean ingredients. Struggling with a variety of health issues, she created Poppi after discovering the health benefits of apple cider vinegar and experimenting in her kitchen to make it taste great. From the farmer's market to a Shark Tank deal, and now in retailers nationwide, Poppi quickly became one of the fastest growing non-alcoholic beverages in the United States. Allison leads the Austin-based beverage company's overall brand strategy and innovation and pioneered the brand's cultural cachet and digital-first approach, attracting a loyal community of over 400,000 followers and celebrity brand fans, including Noah Beck, Russell Westbrook, and J-Lo. And within 24 months, Poppi was awarded BevNet's Campaign of the Year. It went viral on TikTok with over 1 billion page views and ranked number one on Amazon when you search for quote unquote soda, interestingly enough. She joins me today to chat about the inspiration behind Poppi, the importance of choosing healthier alternatives, and how to stand out in a crowded market. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Allison, I'm so excited to chat with you.
Let's go.
Congratulations on all your success. You've made quite the name for yourself and your brand. Poppi is everywhere. Now you've co-founded the company with your husband. So let's peel it back a little bit. Your husband, Stefan, right? That's his name?
Yes.
Okay. And the creation of the drink really, to my understanding, started as a solution to a personal health issue, but quickly became just so much more than that, with now several flavors and stocking the shelves of every big distributor. I'm in awe. And I'd love to learn more about your journey, particularly your journey in creating and founding Poppi, and what were some of the biggest challenges you faced, because I know it wasn't easy when starting your company. How did you overcome them?
Yeah, so look, I made this in my kitchen and now we're in every major retailer in the nation. But I think one of the biggest challenges that we had is we launched Poppi in March of 2020, right when COVID hit. But what I love about that is we had to find a different way to talk to our consumer through a digital first approach. So like the traditional ways of marketing were off the table. So from day one, we had to go online. We had to think differently and throw the playbook that every marketer had done it in the past out the window to get Poppi out there.
That's a very unconventional approach, especially when you're starting off in such a volatile time. COVID was not easy for anybody. Nobody knew how people were going to react, let alone what the purchasing power of households was going to be after taking such a huge blow health-wise and economically. But Poppi is known for its unique approach to what I call soda and what the world calls soda, right? But with health benefits other sodas can't offer, which clearly sets it apart from others in that market. And to be clear, a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola is 140 calories with 39 grams of sugar. Now compare this to Poppi's 12-ounce can of classic cola, which stands at 25 calories with just 5 grams of sugar. That's pretty impressive, Allison. And not to mention, I've done my research here. It's infused with apple cider vinegar, prebiotics for your gut, and crafted with clean ingredients. As a mom, this made me so happy. So the choice is a no-brainer, and you've positioned yourself brilliantly in the market. Now, when it comes to developing your flavors, can you walk me through what process and how do you balance your creativity and your health consciousness?
Yeah. So since I started this, because I had some health problems, nothing major, some tummy problems, started drinking apple cider vinegar, didn't like the way that tasted. So I created Poppi. But what was important for me is to create something that was healthy and tasted good. But more important, like I love soda. I grew up drinking soda. We all know, it's not something you really should do. And I don't want to give it to my kids. So I love that we can just have a better option for our kids with this better for you soda. But more importantly, like with pizza, with burgers, like I want fizzy bubbles. And so I don't even tell my kids that it's good for them or that it has all clean ingredients. The can jumps out at them. They see it's 5 grams of sugar. So as a mom, I'm sure you can relate to this. It's like, if they don't know, they will drink it nonstop and it tastes amazing.
Without a doubt. You would have fooled me. I did a double take. I actually had to turn the can over not once but twice, thinking, did I see 5 or 15?
Right. And
And
that's the consumer journey that we want. Like our cans are really bright. We on the front it says it's time to love soda again. And basically is what that means is like love soda at its best. You get all the full flavor without all the baggage. And so that was intentional. We don't want to be like screaming health claims or anything like that. Cause let's be real, people say one thing and do another when it comes to healthy things.
always, I love that you keep there's integrity behind your company, and I think that that's extremely important. It's the mom promise. Now, I would be remiss to not mention your branding and marketing. We all know the drink market is incredibly crowded, and while your healthy soda option certainly stands out amongst its competitors on a taste and wellness level, you first need people to notice it and want to drink it. And in addition to co-founding the company, you're the chief brand officer. So I know this is your landscape. So how do you approach Poppy's branding and marketing to reach your target audience effectively? And I'd also be curious to hear your thoughts on how you feel social media has changed the marketing landscape.
Yeah, one night back in 2020, I sat down and I told my story and how I started Poppi, and it went absolutely viral. That video has over 103 million views, and to date, Poppi has over 2 billion views on TikTok. But what it did is it really opened our eyes. Look, we were forced to be digital first from day one. It opened our eyes into this new wild, wild west to talk to our consumer on an authentic and real level, right? Previous social media was high gloss and everything was perfect, and you kind of didn't let anyone back or behind the scenes. And really, it's allowed us to talk to a consumer. As a mom of 37 years old, I have 3 boys, and we've connected to Gen Z on the platform, which is the next generation of soda drinkers. So we always keep our minds really open, and we lean in, and we are real and authentic, and our community has rewarded us for us. We have a really fierce and amazing community.
We speak the same language, and the ethos and the narrative is very much aligned with the way I like to research brands and choose the brands that I bring into my home, and your brand is one of them. In recent years, companies are placing a stronger emphasis on sustainability. Okay. In fact, according to a recent Deloitte survey of C-level executives about their sustainability priorities, 75% of business leaders said their organizations had already increased their investments towards a sustainable future in the past year. And 84% of chief experience officers agreed or strongly agreed that it was possible to achieve global economic growth while also reaching sustainability goals, which makes sense as sustainability is not only important to businesses, but the consumers themselves. Brain and Company's 2023 survey reported that 50% of consumers rank sustainability as one of their top 4 key purchase criteria when shopping, which was kind of interesting. But looking at Poppi, what role does sustainability in fact play in your company's mission, and what steps are you taking to promote sustainability?
Look, it's always been at the forefront of Poppi. Previous to launching in March of 2020, we were a different brand before that, before getting on Shark Tank, and we were in glass bottles. And through the rebrand and deciding when we were going to launch, a thing that was really important was to switch over to aluminum cans, which is way more sustainable and way easier to recycle. After that, while scaling through the pandemic, we went from sleeved cans to printed cans, which once again makes it even better to be more recyclable. On top of it, what I think a lot of people, beverage is heavy. It's heavy to ship, right? So something that we've really worked really closely with over the last 2 years is really cutting down on freight and where things are going. You don't want to produce something in New York and ship it to LA, right? So we've been really strategic with our manufacturing and our shipping to cut down freight times and emissions and costs that way. But look, it's always at the forefront in a conversation. I think brands and businesses nowadays, if you're not having that conversation, you're not going to be successful and make it, honestly, because your community will see right through that.
Talk about entrepreneurship. You got your hands full, from marketing to shipping costs to logistic costs to manufacturing and warehousing. Girl, what don't you do?
Hey, as a woman, we can do anything.
I
If we
truly,
do it, we can do it.
truly, I am in awe of everything you do, and I'm actually so proud of women. I'm so proud of you. I don't even know you that well, but I'm just so darn proud.
Thank you.
Now, looking back on this journey, what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs trying to break through a crowded market? And we know it's such a crowded market, and but more importantly, not just break through the crowded market, but stay true to their core values and mission.
Yeah, so I think this is my biggest piece of advice that I can give any entrepreneur out there. And even one that's maybe been in business for 20 years, right? You can always take advice at any time. And it's to get online and start telling and building your community now. So start telling your story, get people involved. It's free marketing, it's free consumer research. You can say, hey, what color can should this be? Or what should my logo look like? And you might only get 200 people that respond to you now, but Poppi has over 2 billion. As of today, but community, and in return with community, reach out to other entrepreneurs, give advice, get advice. And I think if you're not in it alone, that's half the battle.
Well said. Now, looking forward, how do you see the future of the health and wellness industry evolving? And is there anything especially exciting on the horizon for Poppi that we should keep an eye out for?
So I think in that world, it's expected, right? Nowadays, with creating anything new, it's how do you just do better? Right? Like just a little bit better. You don't have to go to one extreme or the other, but that's how we are at Poppi. It's just better at the end of the day. It's not screaming all these things that it's going to cure all of we stay away from all of that stuff. It's just like, just be a little bit better. 5 grams of sugar, clean ingredients, and it tastes great. Right. And I think that that's going to continue to see that in the future of all CPG. Just be a little bit better. Right. And then I think for the future of Poppi, we're always continuing to innovate and launching new flavors. We're literally launching a brand new flavor, lemon lime, as we speak, and continuing to lean into what are those traditional soda flavors that people grew up with, and we can just give them a little bit better of an option.
I love it. What's your go-to Poppi flavor?
Oh, that's easy. My favorite is our strawberry lemon. It's one of the first flavors I made in the kitchen, and it's probably our number one seller. It's our pink and yellow. It tastes amazing.
That's my favorite.
It's so good. I think we have like 12 or 13 flavors, and I do switch it up from time to time, but that's probably about 50% of the time what I grab. It's so good.
Okay, we're on the same page on that one. And lastly, what was the motivation and inspiration behind the name Poppi?
So Poppi is a play off a soda pop, and it's Poppi. It's fun, bright, and it just pops off the shelf.
I love it. See, simple, back to basics. I knew there was going to be, just a duh moment in that one.
I love it.
Okay, listen, I'd love to have you on a panel of women trailblazers that we're going to be doing this summer, and you'd be perfect for it because you are a brilliant mind, you are a great mom, you're such a role model to so many of us, and you truly are a trailblazer.
You can do it. You can do it with the family. You can have a business. You don't have to pick. You can do it all.
Thank you so much, Allison. It was such a pleasure chatting with you today.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That was our Trailblazer segment brought to you by Your Home TV. That was Allison Ellsworth, co-founder and chief brand officer of Poppi. Definitely be sure to check them out if you have not already. Drinkpoppi.com. And to learn more and shop all their flavors, and on the gram and TikTok, you can follow them at Poppi, and check Allison out on the gram at Allison Ellsworth. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Disconnected Kids, Reconnected Families is a documentary-style reality series providing an in-home look at families who have children in need of intervention for conditions ranging from behavioral issues and oppositional defiance to autism and ADHD. Watch as Dr. Robert Malillo and his wife Carolyn go into the home and get real with the families. Using decades of experience, they help families not only face the issues head-on, but also overcome their challenges and reconnect as a family. Exclusively on Your Home TV network.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxtherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase in luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance. For more information or to order CO2 Lift, go to CO2Lift.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a few minutes in our Going Deep segment in our Expert on the Microphone series brought to you by CO2 Lift. Today, we're featuring Dr. Shino Bay Aguilera, founder of ShinoBayDerm.com and ShinoBayTraining.com. He's a highly acclaimed cosmetic dermatologist, surgeon, and laser expert with over 20 years of experience. He's renowned for his pioneering techniques and has been a sought-after speaker at major international conferences. As a top international trainer, published author, and keynote speaker for leading brands in aesthetics, his expertise is widely recognized in the field. Today, he joins me to chat skincare trends, combination treatments, and why pre-treating the skin prior to a procedure matters. We're also going to get his take on carboxtherapy for skin rejuvenation. Now, a one-size-fits-all approach, whether it's for anti-aging treatments or body contouring treatments, is no longer the norm. Most clients often want to correct a combination of concerns ranging from wrinkles, sagging skin, and unwanted fat to sunspots, veins, and hollows from lost collagen. No one treatment can provide a client with a solution for multiple concerns. For example, a dermal filler is an excellent solution for treating volume loss, but it's not going to improve the appearance of sunspots. Kybella will reduce unwanted chin fat, but it's not going to improve sagging skin. So, what is there to do? Since utilizing only one mode of treatment may not address all signs of aging, the solution is combination therapy. And this approach makes the possibilities endless and the results dramatic. And the combination of treatment can be customized to address your specific concerns. Today, Dr. Shino Bay is going to join me to chat combo therapy, why no single solo method is an effective approach to skincare, and the newest trend of carbon dioxide therapy for the skin. Welcoming now to the show is my expert at hand, Dr. Shino Bay. Welcome, superstar.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You look beautiful as always. Always like to do these segments with you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Well, you are a trailblazer in your field, a pioneer in cosmetic dermatology and surgery. What inspired you to pursue this field, and how has your journey evolved over the past 2 decades?
Well, I think since I was little, I always wanted to be a physician, and I grew up in Panama City, Panama, and poor. And because of hygiene, I grew up getting carbuncle for unconscious boils on my face, and I knew how that made me feel, how it affected me. And then you go to your teenagers days and breaking out with acne, and at least for me, it will ruin my day. And just early enough in my career, I knew that I wanted to get into a field in medicine that helped people feel better physically and emotionally. So the connection between the primitive brain that is always surveying people's skin to get messages of youth, health, and fertility, it is the perfect field for me, because if your skin looks good, you are going to feel great about yourself.
Well, you have your work cut out for you. We're going to add spiritual healer to your journey as well, because you seem to balance it all very nicely, and it always ties back to how you feel within. Now, with your extensive experience, what key advancements have you witnessed in skincare and cosmetic procedures, and how have these innovations transformed patient outcomes?
Well, now we have really smart skincare products out there. It's not like the S and C Pond's cream that my grandma used to use. That they're just mainly hydrators, or they stop from the water to escape the skin, but there was not a lot of nutritional value to it. And now we even talking about how certain type of skincare products can work at the gene level, modulate the way your genes work. We also have products that have the language of the cells, the way they communicate with each other. So it's no longer water loss or hydration. We really need skincare products that really make your skin rejuvenate instead of just prevent dehydration per se.
And this brings me to a top trending search: CO2. So when CO2 is used alone or in conjunction with other procedures, specifically CO2 lift, increased skin hydration by more than 117% compared to baseline, with these improvements lasting up to 3 weeks. And the physiological effects also include increases in tissue oxygenation and flow rate and vasodilation, as well as, you know this better than anyone else, neoangiogenesis. Now, your emphasis on pre-treating the skin prior to procedures is quite intriguing. Could you elaborate on the importance of pre-procedure skincare and how it contributes to obtaining optimal results?
Yeah, it's kind of like the analogy, like if you want to run a marathon, you need to train for it, right? So we ask too much from our old cells. we ask way too much from all cells to give collagen, to produce elastic fiber, to heal a wound that we create. They are a living entity. So they require nutrition, they require protection in order to thrive. But what do we do in aesthetic medicine? We burn them, we electrocute them, we stab them, and electrocute them, and we ask them, make collagen, make elastic fiber, heal this wound, or pour 50-year-old, 60-year-old fibroblasts. That's what we do. The idea is that with something like the CO2 lift, for example, something as simple as we all understand that bringing circulation to a tissue brings oxygens, nutritions, takes away toxins and waste products. Well, this is a really no-brainer, easy way to understand that this carboxytherapy that we're talking about is actually a good way to prepare a skin that is about to be electrocuted or burned, or burn and electrocute at the same time. So I'm big proponent this year to help my colleagues understand that these old cells, they need nourishment, they need TLC, and nobody's thinking that way.
You said it. Wow, that was a great analogy. I love how you tied the two together. And you're 100% right. We know from studies that CO2 increases the presence of wound repair factors and growth factors. And you make such a good point, which helps cells turn over faster, reducing the appearance of whether it's aging or scars or stretch marks. And when you go back to stimulating collagen, I've been using this particular product after a breast explant surgery on my anchor lift, and I found dramatic, incredible results. Stimulated collagen and elastin production that promoted a lot of elasticity and helped retain a lot of hydration, even in the areola area, which is crazy to me. And I was quite the studious patient to continue to document my progress with my scars, and I found it phenomenal. So I echo what you're saying. Now, combination treatments have gained a lot of popularity, Dr. Shino, in recent years. What are the benefits of combining different skincare modalities or procedures, if you will, and how do you approach tailoring these combinations to individual patient needs? Because I'm sure it's not a one size fits all model.
No, you mean aging is multifactorial, so you need multiple modalities. It's like there's no one single thing that we can call it the holy grail, and everything is needed. For example, I talk about now polyrevitalizing micronutrients. I published this paper out of the United States because we didn't have products like this, and this is about nutrition. Like you actually prepare the skin, you all fibroblasts with the nutrition, cofactors, coenzymes that they need in order to differentiate and thrive so they can perform better after we actually hurt them, with all the things that I mentioned before. For example, if we know like something like the CO2 lift mask, which is a good way to do carboxytherapy because it is a non-inflammatory way to upregulate the production of collagen. And if I add the nutrition that my fibroblasts or any cells may need, I'm bringing more circulation, more oxygen. We know that as a human species, we need nutrition, we need oxygen, we need that circulation because blood is not circulating, the tissue dies. Why do you think that is any different for our cells that we ask so much, we have so much from all fibroblasts to do? So for me is, if I'm going to do an energy device that I know I'm going to hurt the skin, create a wound, wouldn't be smart to prepare the skin with the right amount of nutrition so they can survive this injury? Also make sure that there's proper circulation, for oxygenation and removal of all the waste material and reactive oxygen species that are formed after you create inflammation. So having the nutrition with all these products that we have in the market to add local nutrition to the skincare, having something like the therapy, the CO2 lift to enhance the circulation, the angiogenesis, and then bring the nutrition that we're trying to add, then you understand that your results are going to be superior than you just burn the skin and put Vaseline on top of it or Aquaphor. There's no nutrition in Aquaphor or Vaseline or occlusive products. There's just occlusion, so there's no dehydration, but there's nothing of benefit. That's why you have to think what you want for yourself as a human being. You should want for every single, the trillion cells that exist in your body.
Well said. Well, when you put it like that you go to these procedures and they're going to burn you and poke you and do all of that, you make it sound like this product is very much critical and crucial in the process. Now, we know that the positive effects of non-invasive carboxytherapy are scientifically explained, and it's a simple, common Google search that people can do on their own to see that this is non-invasive and almost universally accepted. But carboxytherapy is a topic of interest for many seeking skin rejuvenation. That's one thing. But can you explain how carboxytherapy works and its role in enhancing the results both from surgical and non-surgical procedures?
Yeah, and you know that you never reinvent the wheel, you just make it better. So carboxytherapy is a therapy that's been around for a long time. Maybe new for United States for a lot of people. They may not have heard it, but it's a really good way to increase the level of oxygen, improve the microcirculation on every tissue. When you have angiogenesis, it means that you are forming new blood vessels to feed a tissue, especially a tissue that you're trying to create from genesis, right? Because as we get older, we're just losing tissue. With this product, you're actually creating the right properties. You're setting the basis for success in bioregeneration, which is a big topic now in aesthetic, right? You're really creating the right environment for your cells to thrive. And this is a non-inflammatory way to boost your collagen production. But you can use it to prepare your cells before getting any of these aggressive treatments, and only prepare them. You can use it right after to actually support the results, right? Because it's important before, but I believe that is much more important after. If you're sick because you got burned or electrocuted, wouldn't you want to be nurtured and give oxygen and more hydration because you're just being stressed to the max? So I think the beauty with the CO2 lift is like I can use it to prepare the skin for the injury, but I can also use it to heal from the injury. So that's a win-win.
Yep, you said it. CO2 Lift Pro as a medical monotherapy is very effective. It's great for severely dry skin and itchy skin, for the speedy healing of wounds, as you put it, and also increasing blood flow to those areas. But it's also great as an aesthetic monotherapy, right? So fine lines, wrinkles, creepy skin, dark circles, inflamed skin, textural imbalances, dehydration, enlarged pores. We could go on and on. It's multi use at this point. Now, last question. We have about a minute left. As the founder of both Shino Bay Dermatology and Shino Bay Training, could you share some insights into your approach to education and training in the field of dermatology and how you strive to uphold the highest standards of excellence?
So, man, I hold a lot of master class. I always teach residents, fellows in dermatology, plastic surgery, oculoplasty. I made myself available because we are not making anybody young by using injectable fillers. I want to deprogram them and have them see things differently. The way I explained to you about how we have been treating all fibroblasts without even give them the nutrition and the nurture and the protection that they need as we get older. So my goal is to have them see that everything is important, but we really need to concentrate on tissue regeneration because we're already there, to use injectable fillers as enhancers, but not as a way to stop the aging process. We're already there. We know how to make every single cell on your body young. That's going to take a few more years in order to know if it's safe. What we need to concentrate now is to marry bioregenerative aesthetic medicine with functional aesthetic medicine, which is everything that we talked today. And I hope that my residents, the people that take my master class, carry this message, and everybody that is hearing me today, that please think about your cells. They need all the things, the same things that you need, they also need. And if you're going to do all these aggressive things, make sure that you prepare them for them. And then after you do these things, you have the proper post-care treatment so they can thrive.
There, you said it all, my dear friend. Thank you so much for that incredible explanation and answer. We are officially out of time. It was such a pleasure having you on today. You are a great speaker, filled with knowledge, and I can't wait to meet you again in person.
Me too. You're beautiful. I'll see you soon.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. That was the incredible Dr. Shino Bay. You can check him out on the gram at Shino Bay or Shino Bay Derm. And you could head directly to their website at shinobayderm.com or shinobaytraining.com. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Life can take unexpected turns. Meet Carrie Portal, a cattle rancher and professional speaker who has overcome partially disabling injuries to embrace a life of courage and resilience. As a survivor of an impaired driver, she refuses to let her injuries define her. Carrie's learned to adapt, push limits, and live life to the fullest. Join her as she shares her inspiring story on Cruisin' Cowgirl, a new TV series streaming on yourhometv.com and Roku.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, 100% pure coconut water. Imagine a drink that's nutrient-rich, powerfully refreshing, naturally sweet with no added sugars, not from concentrate, zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors, and is so tasty that it will become your new favorite beverage. Enter Once Upon a Coconut, the absolute best tasting coconut water you will ever try. Available in 4 refreshing flavors: pure, chocolate, pineapple, and sparkling with energy. Do your taste buds a favor and pick up some today at onceuponacoconut.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Hydration with Heart segment brought to you by Once Upon a Coconut, we're featuring co-founder of Once Upon a Coconut and CEO of Quality One Wireless, John Chirando. He's a seasoned entrepreneur who ignited his business journey at the tender age of 11 with a newspaper route right here in New York. Since then, he's propelled himself into diverse industries with unwavering determination. John's dynamic portfolio encompasses ventures spanning real estate, telecommunications, hospitality, and more, collectively employing over 700 employees and boasting revenues nearing $1 billion this year alone. Beyond business, John is a devoted father, an avid sports enthusiast, and a dedicated philanthropist. Today, he joins me to chat about Once Upon a Coconut's rise to fame, how they're revolutionizing coconut water and the beverage industry, but more importantly, how they're leveraging their position and power to give back to the communities. Now, Once Upon a Coconut believes that people should create their own narrative around the brands they consume, not the other way around. Their goal is quite simple. They want to tell a story that we can all be part of, while hydrating the world with next level, legendary tasting premium coconut water. Welcoming now to the show is my amazing friend, co-founder of Once Upon a Coconut, John Chirando. Welcome, superstar.
How are you?
So excited to have you on. So let's dive right in. The coconut water market is poised to experience explosive growth in the coming years. By the end of this year alone, it's expected to reach over $2.5 billion in sales in the United States alone. So, first off, congrats on an incredible brand, a great tasting beverage founded by simply good people. But I must ask, what on earth could have motivated you to enter such a competitive and crowded space?
We're in a lot of diverse industries. This is our first CPG category. We were brought in, and we get a lot of deals presented to us. The beverage industry is hit or miss, and when you hit, it's an unbelievable success story. As previous brands and brands we all know of that have seen sales and success on, we saw coconut water as an opportunity to be different. And if you look at the industry, it's plain, it's boring. There is not a lot that's going on. I think some of the legacy leaders in the space have taken it easy and rested on their laurels and their success. We felt that we can come in and innovate. We can be different. We definitely taste different. I mean, I'll let that stand on its own. But we also wanted to have a community and build a movement around a brand. It's not transactional. We don't want to take your money and give you a beverage. We want to take your money and do something with it that impacts your community. And then when we do it, we want you to be part of it. So that's the nexus of Once Upon a Coconut. It's a community movement, and it's definitely showing itself today and over the last 4 to 6 months of what we've been doing with our community.
This is such a beautiful journey already. Now, you and your team scored the earth for a very specific type of coconut, and it landed you in Vietnam, the world's sixth largest producer of coconuts. There, the coconut is a form of religion, and this dates back to the 1960s, where people worshipped and consumed nothing but coconuts. Specifically, this region has insanely delicious tasting coconuts, but zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors. This does not feel like a mind blowing taste palette, yet it totally is. I can personally vouch. So, what is the secret, John? How do you harvest them coconuts, and why Ben Tre Vietnam?
It's so like coffee or wine or any other geographic resource, they're all different. So, stuff that you're going to find along a beach is watered at its root with water. So there's a salinity factor to the coconut. Ours is grown in a rainforest. It's natural water. It's a very steamy, humid climate. We pick them when they're young. We add nothing to them. There is nothing added to it. Personally, prior to Once Upon a Coconut and exploring, coconut water and trying coconut products, I didn't like coconut at all. It was a least favorite thing probably in the world for me. I actually liked the coconut water when we did the taste testing in factories going around the world. That was in Vietnam. The team loved it. We did some taste testings with consumers, and I will put our coconut water up against any coconut water in the marketplace today. It tastes fantastic. It's good for you. It truly is nature's Gatorade.
I agree. And as a mom, I love coconut water, not only because it tastes great, but it's truly proprietary in its health benefits, right? I mean, we have potassium and calcium and magnesium. Those are all the electrolytes. They play important roles in maintaining heart health and liver and kidney health and digestive functions and healthy blood sugar levels. I mean, muscle and nerve function. The list goes on and on. But I specifically started drinking it after my radiation therapy when I was battling thyroid disease. And now I typically use it as a cure-all for everything, including hangovers. Now, interestingly, in Jamaican folk medicinal practices, coconut water has been used as medicine, as an alternative intravenous rehydration fluid for treatment of diarrhea or any kind of vomiting or severe dehydration. So it's interesting to see how different cultures are integrating it into their practices. Now, what does the Once Upon a Coconut product lineup consist of, John, and what is the company's product roadmap?
Yeah, so we have a pure, which nothing is added. We have a pineapple and coconut, which is just pineapple juice and coconut. We have an energy, which we call clean energy. It is some vitamins added, 120 milligrams of caffeine. It is carbonated. We're making a big push for that for the rest of this year to get into the energy space because we believe if you look at the back of our label and you look at the back of the label of our competitors, you can pronounce all of our ingredients. I think that's very important to consumers, especially in the health conscious world where, the new currency is health. Health is truly wealth these days. And we're going to stay in that lane. We have a chocolate, which is kind of the guilty pleasure. I think that's becoming everyone's number one favorite. And it is Yoo-hoo. It's been described as Yoo-hoo or cold hot chocolate, and it has no dairy in it. So it's definitely appealing to a large mass of the consumers. We have a watermelon, which is just watermelon juice. We have a blueberry, which is blueberry and coconut. And we have a 1 liter and we have a 10.8 ounce cans for all the others. The 1 liter is pure. We are working to move to an all aluminum product line and get the 1 liter out of plastic. And then for every case we sell, we plant a tree. So we want to be earth friendly. We want to have a carbon neutral footprint. All of our stuff will be recycled by the end of this year. So we're excited about that. And for the future lineup, I think a larger, probably screw top, 16 ounce aluminum can, and then moving our carbonated products to go full energy. Our flavored products to go carbonated with full energy. So now we'll offer a vast array of flavors with the same natural core and then be in the energy space as well.
I love that you're conscious about your packaging. I know that you started with these BPA-free cans, and for those of you listening, BPA can seep into food or beverages from containers that are made with BPA. And exposure of this is a major concern because of the health effects on the brain and prostate glands, specifically of fetuses, infants, and children. So it can also affect the child's behavior. I'm curious to know, what does the next round of packaging look like for Once Upon a Coconut?
Very similar, except it'll just, if we make the change, it'll be probably beginning of next year where we come out with a larger can. Consumers are asking. Our 8.8 ounce can is sleek. That people love it. It's definitely fit the demographic that we were going after. But now people are saying, hey, we'd like a screw top can so that we can drink it, not in one shot, be able to reseal it. And then moving over our plastic 1 liter and coming out with our chocolate and our pure in the 1 liter aluminum, which we're in the process of actually doing right now. We'll deliver to a large retailer in August.
Now, it's one thing to introduce a premium coconut water that tastes better than anything you've ever tried before, which you did, but it's truly something else to give back to the communities and to the people that truly need it. And John, that's what you're all about. And so for every case of Once Upon a Coconut sold, you donate 10% to a charity that you select each month. Why is this so important to you? Which charities do you support, and how do you go about selecting the charities?
So we celebrate our success with the community. For me personally, I would not have it any other way. All of our companies give back to some extent. The Down Syndrome Foundation, the Cancer Society, the Dreamer Foundation with Charlie Rocket. We've just rebuilt a field in inner city Queens for a high school that could not field its baseball team because the field was in bad shape. So it's not just individual organizations, it's individuals as well. We did an event for a young man with Down syndrome who had a dream of being a professional wrestler and wanted to raise money to build a bathroom for his sister who was being bathed outside in the backyard for 6 years. So these things resonate for me because, quite honestly, I grew up in that world. My oldest son was born on welfare. I shopped at night at the local Key Food in Queens using food stamps. They didn't even have a card back then. I didn't want my neighbors to see me. I was on food stamps. I was on welfare. I know what that's like. And I think along the path of being blessed and having some opportunity and working really hard, I've been able to change those economics for my family and hopefully for future generations. And I just want to be able to give back to other people who may feel there's no hope, and let them know that the world is a lot nicer place and a lot brighter place than what we may see on TV. And going into someone's house and putting a bathroom in for a family so that their daughter can be bathed who was drugged on a date, or building a field. By the way, the field was a tough one for me because I went to high school in Queens and it's one of our rivals we built the field for. But you know what? There are 15 kids today that are going to be playing baseball and really, building teamwork and learning how to win and learning how to lose and learning how to work hard, that's absorbing their time, not being out on the street, not getting into trouble, not doing other things that, there are other opportunities out there besides a baseball field. So those things mean a lot to us. We don't have a charity of choice. We want to work with the community and our consumers and even our retail customers to support the community. When you buy something from us, we want you to see something on social media or something in our email that says, hey, you were part of this. Thank you for making this happen. And we mean that.
You're a good man. You are such a bright light and such a philanthropic, organic person. Now, it seems like your entire world revolves around talent, experts, and VIPs, and connecting your brand with a universe of dynamic talent has truly been the case. Why do you think Once Upon a Coconut has taken off as quickly and successfully as it has? And why are all these VIPs and celebrities major endorsers?
You know, I think if you look at the celebrity, quote unquote, the celebrity space, the one common denominator is they all focus on health. The Ferraris and Lambos and yachts aren't the big flex anymore. It's the six pack and who's healthy and longevity. So if you look at some of the guys that we have on our team, Ben Greenfield, Gary Brecka, they have exploded with the results that they've given the quote unquote celebrity market in terms of health and wellness. I mean, you guys can look at the case studies that Gary has done with some celebrities, and he's changed people's lives. We're doing the same thing. We're providing natural hydration. That's good for you. It's good to you, and it's good for the community that you exist in and reside in. So it's a win-win. And, the marketing is great. The product looks great. But if it doesn't taste good, nobody's going to get behind it long term. We have a fantastic tasting product. I may be biased in saying that, but it's a fact.
No, you do.
And we hear it everywhere. I go into stores and do tastings. And I look for the person who says, I hate coconut water. And I said, you know what? I was you. Just give it a shot. We have viral videos of some of our people out on the streets paying people who hate coconut water to taste it. Because no matter what you have, it has to be a great product. There are common denominators in business. If you don't have a great product, you're not going to get very far for very long. We're here for the long haul.
You said it. Now, you built everything you have with hard work, dedication, and humility. You started from nothing and built yourself an empire. What advice do you have to your younger self? And what would you say to the next generation of entrepreneurs?
Well, I'll address the first question. It's going to be tough. And I think one of the things that took me probably 20 years to realize is twofold. One, you need to hire great people. If I go on vacation and I want to find a tour guide to take me to a place I've never been before, I have to hire someone with experience in going to that place. So hire people that have been where you want to go. And the second one is learn to enjoy the tough times, because through the tough times, through the discomfort, you're going to come out of the other side of it a lot better off, a lot smarter, a lot wiser, a lot better intuition, a lot stronger. And I've learned to enjoy the tough times. People think that's sadistic, but truly that's where I grow most as a leader during the tough times. What I would say to people today is, if as hard as you think it's going to be, there's an infinite multiple of how hard it's going to be an entrepreneur and build something. Just don't give up. I know it's cliche, but you cannot fail if you don't give up.
Now we can add motivational speaker and and TEDx to your resume. That was great piece of advice, and I echo everything that you said. And I see how hard you work and how much you give back. And I think at the core of it all, it begins with good people, right? And you are good. You are salt of the earth, John. I could personally vouch for that. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure chatting with you today. Getting to know you even on a 14-minute interview in a deeper way was extremely rewarding. Thank you so much for being transparent.
Thank you for being so gentle with me on my first ever interview.
This was your first ever interview?
I've done BevNet, and I've done other industries that we're in, but this is my first real interview.
Oh,
So this,
you're a pro.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate you being so easy on me.
Oh, no, you were amazing. I was going to say you probably do this all day, every day, but you speak.
They're getting me tuned up for it, though. They're getting me tuned up for it.
I'm getting you tuned up. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Imagine a drink that's nutrient-rich, powerfully refreshing, naturally sweet, with no added sugars, not from concentrate. zero additives, low in calories, absolutely no artificial flavors, and is so tasty that it's going to become your favorite beverage. Enter Once Upon a Coconut, the absolute best tasting coconut water you'll ever try. It's available in 4 refreshing flavors: pure, chocolate, pineapple, and sparkling with energy. They've also just added watermelon and blueberry to the product line. Do your taste buds a favor and pick some up today. Head to onceuponacoconut.com. You can also check them out directly on the gram at onceuponacoconut, and you can also check out John's profile at john.chiarando. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV with Kathy Ireland and their channel partners. Head to yourhometv.com for free, family-friendly programming, streaming 24/7.
Gretchen Filia is a proponent of American industry. Join her on the ultimate road trip across America, where she highlights the people, places, and experiences that show the American dream and the spirit of its people. Check out Fabric of America on yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Welcome back to this week's Discover Your Potential Express segment, brought to you by Smart Pet Talk on A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm Anna DeVere, co-host of Discover Your Potential, and today we're celebrating those unsung heroes, our mothers. Every mom knows that she may have to endure a less than perfect celebration. Her breakfast in bed might include burnt pancakes and maybe some jewelry made out of macaroni. And if your kids are the four-legged kind, they may even wake you up early on Mother's Day because, let's face it, pets don't even know what day of the week it is. That's why I'm dedicating these next few minutes to a lesser-known holiday, National Dog Moms Day. After all, not only will your kids never grow up and move out of the house, you're putting up with a lot of poop, literally. For dog mom Becky Starr, only one breed can truly win her heart, the Boston Terrier. When she visited the animal shelter one day, little did she know that the black and white pup with the big pleading eyes was next in line for euthanasia. All at once, her mother's instinct kicked in, and Maximilian was adopted. For the next 2 years, Max greeted Becky at the door every day with his grateful, wiggly bum dance that signaled to her he thought every day was Dog Mom's Day. For dog parents, this kind of love is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Then one day, when she opened the door, Max was not there to greet her. Finding her kiddo slumped against the washing machine, Becky raced Max to the emergency room, only to discover he had ruptured a spinal disc. And even with a $10,000 surgery, the outlook was uncertain. Most pet parents face costly vet bills at some point, but Max was so young to live life as a paralyzed pup. Still, Becky understood one thing. Every child deserves to discover their potential, and her Max would have the very best care she could afford. Post-operation, she stayed all day and night with him. Max required a new level of care as he couldn't even go to the bathroom on his own. Undaunted, Becky looked for alternative therapies, the kind she knew about for humans. She found devices for suspending his back legs. She taped his paws to keep them from bleeding, and she even did swim therapy in a jacuzzi. Max enjoyed his walks in a little red wagon, but Becky knew there had to be more. That's when she discovered the only animal chiropractor in Hollywood, a 70-year-old man who went to work on Max's back legs. It would take a 2 to 3 hour drive twice a week, but Max regained the use of all but one leg. He would eventually be able to walk up and down stairs and even got a part in a movie. With a new nickname, Pokey the Paralyzed Pup, Max remained the star in Becky's heart for the next 14 years. Today, Becky is the producer of Smart Pet Talk, a show that features hope and options for all kinds of furry kids. Inspired by the legacy of her own dog's needs, this mom has assembled a panel of experts and guests that offers the very best advice in the field of integrated health and wellness for animals. You can watch Smart Pet Talk for free on the streaming channel yourhometv.com. or head to the website smartpettalk.com for more episodes. And P.S., Twin Boston Terriers, Connor and Chelsea, with their cute wiggly bottoms, are wishing their mom, Becky, a very happy Dog Mom's Day. From iHeart to Your Heart, this Discover Your Potential Express segment was brought to you by Smart Pet Talk. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is sponsored by FinTech TV.
FinTech TV, the newest streaming channel focused exclusively on the business of blockchain, digital assets, and sustainability. Broadcasting from our studio on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with daily reports from NASDAQ, global expansion, and 24/7 coverage. Become part of the launch. Head to fintech.tv/invest. Fintech.tv/invest.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
Well, that's a wrap, my dear friends. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or you could head to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Zen. Also remember that we're live on Traverse TV Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, and all episodes of A Moment of Zen are available on Your Home TV and Kathy Ireland worldwide streaming platform. You could head directly to mox.yourhometv.com. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thanks again to all of our sponsors that continue to make this show possible. And remember that happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We'll see you next week.